Hello and welcome to the Raceroom Rookie Experience. I'm Jord and today we're going to be driving a Cupra touring car around Zolder. It's been a while, but we're back. I just took a short break from making videos, but here we are at the 5 red lights, waiting for those to go green. So these front wheel drive cars, you get a lot of wheel spin off the line if you're not careful.
Green, green, green.
As you see, I did there and immediately lose 2 places at the start, which is pretty standard for me. My race starts aren't that good. There are all sorts of things kicking off in front of us,
On your right.
so we actually managed to get a place back. Going side by side round this corner where we get the better exit on the power. And there we go, back into P10. So just trying to now survive the rest of the first lap. Quite a tall order on a rookie lobby, but we'll try as best nonetheless. Just tucking into the slipstream of this car ahead. Obviously he did qualify ahead of me, so he is going to be naturally quicker than me. But we do get a better exit out of the chicane. I seem to be pretty good out there. I made up a lot of time on quite a few cars as we get it a little bit skew whiff round that corner. The car behind goes off into the gravel, and that gives us a nice little gap to the cars behind, so we can just focus on looking forward and getting this first lap done nice and safe. As it's kicking off even more in front of us. I'm actually glad to be sort of at the back of this little pack, just so you know, we're not taking any risks and yeah, not getting involved in any incidents too early on. We've come round the final chicane now. One of 3 chicanes at Zolder. So if you are going to race at Zolder, I hope you like chicanes. But there we go, a lap 1 on a rookie server, incident free. Who'd have thought it? So now we can think about catching this next car, as there is a bit of a gap that's opened up. And he's kind of on his own really, so I want to try and attack that car if we can, make up a position, and just try and pick these cars off one by one if we can. Remember, they are going to be quicker than us, because they're qualified higher than us, but there are 1 or 2 corners, like I said, like this chicane, where I get a pretty decent exit compared to everyone else. Like here, and it's going to leave a gap up the inside, so I'm going to place my car there. He's going to close us out, so we have to back out. A massive lock-up going into the next chicane, as I had to slam on to try and not hit him. And unfortunately for us, that's going to let him pull away a little bit, as crew chief states the obvious there. But moving on into the race a little bit, we're on lap 5 now, so we've jumped forward a few laps. It were a lot of laps of just kind of trying to catch up with this pack. The car ahead did eventually catch up with them. We unfortunately weren't quick enough, but this was my fastest lap of the race. Just using all the racetrack on the first corner, getting on the power early as you can. Same thing here, getting on the power, using all the track available to you. Let the car drift towards the right, as minimal steering as you can, down into 4th for this. Again, using all the racetrack, going right to the edge, power on as early as you possibly can. These front wheel drive cars do have a tendency to understeer, with them being front wheel drive, so you have to watch out for that. Taking the chicane with as straight a line as possible. I actually went down into 2nd there, but you can take it in 3rd. Looking for the end of the grey stuff on the left for this next chicane. You can abuse the curbs a little bit, just not too much, otherwise you'll damage your suspension. If you look ahead of us, a massive gaggle of cars there. It looks like they're going side by side in like 2 rows. So it's all kicking off here. There's a car that goes wide, we have to let him back on the track. He didn't really get in his way too much. But we have a little bit of slipstream now, so that's gonna help us out. looking for that 100 board, braking about there. Nice trail braking into the corner, power on. Just be a bit gentle with it, the car can go wide there. And this did end up being my fastest lap of the race, which were 1:38.6. So not the fastest, but we're being consistent. And as you can see now, we're right on the back of this this next car. Where I'm just trying to be a bit cautious. Obviously there's cars ahead of him, so he's probably going to be braking a little bit earlier into the corners. And then here I make a bit of a mistake, not quite on the power early enough. They are going to just pull ahead slightly. As you can see, I'm down 2/10. It's quite irritating. But we come around this chicane again, and I get my first incident point halfway into the race, or 2/3 of the way into the race, and only one incident point. It's not bad going. But we come now to the last 2 minutes of the race. I'm still in 10th. I've just been chilling behind these guys, and it is really now or never if we're going to make a move. As these guys slow each other down, I have to lift off so I don't go into the back of this next car. As we go into, I think, the second to last lap now. Picking up the slipstream of this guy, braking after that kind of last flag. And we get on the power much earlier than him. And I bring the car over to the left to try and get a nice wide line through this next corner.
On your right.
He's obviously just to his right, so we've got to be careful and try and leave him the space, which we do. So not ahead of him just yet, but we're a bit later on the brakes here. They're not quite on the power as well as him, but we've got the slipstream, so we can just keep up with him, looking for the 100 board, braking there for the chicane, and he's really slow through here, really not carrying enough speed.
Right side.
So we get a much better exit. I go on the inside to the left, bit of a shorter track distance, into the braking zone we go. Is still side by side, so I have to leave the space. We pick up an incident there as I do cut the corner a little bit trying to leave him space, but we get ahead, only just managed to keep it ahead, and fortunately we actually served as penalty around the next corner.
That's 5
so
minutes of fuel left.
that's all good. We go a little bit deep and a little bit wide here, as he is putting the pressure on. Going to the left now. I try and squeeze him as much to the left as I can, and then pull to the right so we can get later on the brakes. Again, just try and take that apex. He wasn't by his side, so we could do that, but he gets a better exit, giving us a bit of a bump draft now. So I go right to the right hand side of the track, take the normal braking zone. He tries to go around the outside, but doesn't quite get the line right. We managed to take the apex and pull out a bit of a gap. Same sort of situation here. We hit the apex, we get on the power just a little bit before him, and then we are pulling out a gap from him now into the next corner. He's a bit later on the brakes than us, tyres squealing, and yeah, he's still there in his mirrors. So this is all about defending now for his lives, into the braking zone for the chicane, and we do get another incident as I take far too much curb there. So we are going to have to serve this penalty. It's only 3/10, but it's only about 3/10 behind us, so we managed to serve a little bit round the chicane. We've still got a little bit left to serve, about 1/10.5, so we'll probably serve it round the hairpin, lift and coast a little bit. So we'll just coast round the hairpin. That should bring our penalty down, and this is the final lap. We've got a bit of a gap to him, so all I've got to do now is do the last chicane without bottling it, which we did bottle it on this chicane last time we were at Zolder. Will we do it this time? No, we won't. We get through it in one piece, and yeah, we managed to finish one position up. Quite happy with that. A really good race.
Well done, mate. Good
And
finish.
with all the fighting ahead of me, I didn't really want that race to end. I had a lot of fun. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'd very much appreciate that. I have a Discord server as well that's going to be linked down below, so feel free to join that if you want. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.